Hello people, how are you doing today? I'm doing fantastic and I'm feeling great. Why? It's simple. Tonight, once again, your host, Jean L. Constant, I'm presenting you one of the youth organizations inside of Freemasonry. A few of you might know about it before, might heard about it before. Yes, this is the Order of DeMolay, which I'm presenting you tonight. But do you really know about this order? Do you really know it exists before? This is what I'm presenting you tonight. I will have with me one of the representatives of DeMolay for the state of Connecticut, which I'm inviting you guys to sit down, break a leg, and enjoy the video, because you're about to learn a lot about the relation with Freemasonry, about who they are, about the relation with the Knights Templar, about Jacques de Molay, the last great master of the Knights Templar. Enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good morning, everyone. Once again, we are here, as you know, in this channel to present you one of the order appendant body of Freemasonry. As you know, Freemasonry has different appendant body, and today with Brother Brian E. BEALS to present you one of the order of Freemasonry. It's a youth organization inside of Freemasonry, so-called the Order of the DeMolay. Brother, welcome to the channel.
My pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for contacting me.
Thank you, you're welcome. And today we have a few questions. It's gonna be a not so long interview, but you guys gonna discover what is exactly the Order of DeMolay. I'm gonna start with this question. Are you a DeMolay? How did you come into DeMolay? Who are you?
So my name is Brian BEALS. I'm currently the executive officer of DeMolay here in Connecticut. I joined DeMolay when I was 13. My scoutmaster actually was a Freemason, and he was the chapter advisor for my local chapter in my town. And he thought I would be a really good fit for somebody that should be part of DeMolay. So he kind of, actually we're both members of the same church, so we had a lot of connections. And he asked me to come. So I went down. Again, we had our local chapter in my hometown, and I joined, and I, just kind of took to it. It was a few years after that. My father actually joined Freemasonry. He joined in 1976, I believe. So I go back a few years. I joined in 70 or 71, somewhere around that time, 1970, not 2070, because we haven't gotten there yet. But and I remember I attended chapter meetings right up through my 21st birthday, which is the age that you become a senior DeMolay, as we call it. But you never stop really being a DeMolay. It's kind of like the thought process the Marines have. Yes. You're never not a Marine. You're always a Marine, always a Marine. Once you're a DeMolay, you're always a DeMolay. You stand here, you're proud to say, I am a DeMolay. You're not was a DeMolay, you are a DeMolay. Okay. And so in that time, I did various jobs in my chapter. I was a chapter leader, which is called the Master Counselor. And I attended, various state functions and visited with other chapters and so forth. So I was pretty active. And then at 21, which was our age at the time, I joined Freemasonry. Now coming up a little over 47 years as a Freemason. Wow. On top of it. Yeah, so I've been around a little while. I tell people, if you don't believe me, you can cut me in half and count the rings, just like a tree. But I've enjoyed every minute. What DeMolay did for me as a youth, it got me acclimated to meeting other people, got really involved with knowing a lot of men from my Masonic Lodge. But it gave me confidence in other areas. DeMolay works with leadership, Brotherhood. We do have ceremonies for joining. We have 2 ceremonies.
Okay. Tell us about it.
Initiatory and DeMolay. Our initiatory ceremony is first degree, for lack of a better term. You learn about the 7 principles of DeMolay. Okay. DeMolay was founded in 1919 by a Freemason, Frank Sherman Land.
Master Mason.
Master Mason, Shriner, Scottish Rite Mason. He belonged to all the organizations, and he saw a need for young men at the time out in Kansas City, Missouri, basically in the heart of the country. They lost their fathers in World War I. A couple of them had divorced parents, which nobody talked about at the time. 1919, nobody ever mentioned divorce. But he saw a need, and there was 9 boys that he started to work with. And he took those 9 boys and they started to talk about stuff and things. But he wanted to provide them something more. So he kind of represented a father figure for them.
That's why they call him the dad.
That's really where the term dad goes back to, because they called him Dad Land.
Dad Land.
So for us as advisors, I'm Dad Beals, and my mom is Mom Beals. So we, back in the late 80s, I can get into that a little bit later. So the seven precepts, principles of DeMolay are filial love, which is respect for parents; reverence for sacred things, which is respect for all religions; courtesy, comradeship, fidelity, cleanness, and patriotism. Every one of them is important. In 1919, they saw that they were really important to establish on those principles. Every day now, when I talk to groups and people, I say those precepts are as important now as they were back in 1919, 106 years ago.
It's like the core value of the Scottish.
It's a core value process.
Okay. So that's inside of the first.
The first joining ceremony.
How many degrees do they have?
We have two joining ceremonies.
2 joint ceremonies. Yeah. So do they execute them at the same day, or
they can be at the same day? They can be separate times. It's not. There's no hard and fast rule how they have to be. Okay. Many times we have a 1-day class at certain events, so we'll do both ceremonies. The second ceremony is called the DeMoley degree. That's
when you become a DeMolay.
That's when when you become full membership. Yes.
Or full membership.
Yeah. You really once you take your initiatory degree, you're actually a DeMolay. Okay. Because we register you, you're part of the system, and we welcome you as such. There's no requirement to take anything beyond that, but it's nice to have both ceremonies because there's another lesson.
Okay.
In the second degree, the lesson is about fidelity, basically. Jacques de Molay, who was the last Grand Master of Knights Templar, was true to the death of his associates, the Knights Templar. And the Church of England, France, they were after all their wealth and riches. Well, the wealth and riches really are contained within the person. They're not really monetary. And he would not disclose the names of people. He would not, until they burned him at the stake. He and his number 1 person, Jacques de Molay, they burned his stake back in 1313. So it's kind of an interesting story that they picked. When the group with Dad Land started meeting, after a little bit, they said, okay, well, we should probably have a name. And they talked about a whole bunch of stuff. And then they found this heroic example. It's biblically traced, it's historical. And they said, that's the lesson we want to bring in,
right.
is the story about Jacques de Molay. So that's where the name of the organization comes from. It's from Jacques de Molay. There's a couple of different pronunciations of it.
Okay.
Because in French or France at the time.
Yeah, they say like de Molay.
Right. He was Jacques de Molay.
Yes.
So of DeMolay, of the region. So that's how it all gets blended in when you anglicize it over the years. Okay. So they took that, in 1919, and they were meeting for a while. Their first recorded meeting was April 1st, 1919.
Where?
In Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
Okay.
And then they had some other boys join them that were in similar situations, but they also brought their friends in. So they began to grow.
Okay.
And they got to be about 75 young men and some other leaders. And they said, okay, we're good. We like the club. And Dad Land said, do you think we should really keep this here? He said, I think we can do a lot more with this.
No.
And they were like, okay, we think. So in a very short time, within I think a year after that, they had 1,000 members.
1,000 members.
And
Chapters everywhere.
And it started to spread out from Kansas City, Missouri. If you think about 1919 and how hard it was to go anywhere.
Exactly. Without GPS.
Before anything. It's almost, you know, for kids nowadays, it's like almost before life ever existed. You know, it's like the planet wasn't even evolved yet. You know,
yeah.
1919 is that far away for them, but.
And Griffin coming from every other way to support him and everything. I
Right.
remember the story they said like the Shriners support him a lot.
Yeah, he's a past grand potentate. I think that's their title, Imperial Potentate. That's what it is.
Okay.
So from Kansas City, Missouri, it started to branch out, and Freemasons, Royal Archmasons, regular Blue Lodges, they all took hold of the idea. And it started to spread across the country, sponsoring chapters. Our first chapter here in Connecticut was in Bridgeport in 1922.
1922. Guys, just letting you know. Actually, we are at the New Haven Masonic Temple building, and we are in one of the beautiful rooms here where we're conducting this interview. Just letting you know, we are in New Haven, Connecticut for a 32nd Scottish Rite degree later on. So that's where we're sitting in that beautiful building conducting that interview. But I have another question for you, brother.
So our second chapter was New Haven, and New Haven chapter, and that was March of 2023. 1923. I do that all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. This building has a history. This building was built about that time.
Okay.
So this building has a rich history of DeMolay activity in it.
19, you said?
1923.
1923?
Yeah.
So it's almost 100.
It's over 100 years.
Over
103
100
years, this chapter.
Wow.
And
And still exists this chapter?
The chapter's still on our books. I still have it activated.
Okay.
We're trying to get to a point to get reestablish it and get members back in it. It's fallen dormant. It's a little bit tough in the city sometimes to keep stuff moving, but we're back active trying to get recruit young men to join DeMolay, you know, in the greater New Haven area. So.
What age can you join DeMolay right now?
So DeMolay, the actual age for DeMolay is 12 to 21.
12 to 21.
Yeah. And
After, do you have to be accompanied with a parent? Do you need to have some Masonic connection, family members, relatives? Tell us about it.
So there's no requirement for Masonic connections.
Back in the days, yes.
Back in those days, there might have been, but today there is absolutely no connection. You have to be a Freemason.
Okay.
Freemasons still sponsor our chapters. The lodges still sponsor the chapters. They're great sponsors. Scottish Rite is a great sponsor. Our York Rite Masons are also great sponsors. Everybody helps contribute either monetarily or physically by being an advisor. And we also have a young group for younger ones from 9 to 11 called Squires.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So,
Other appended body?
pardon?
Other Freemasonry appended body?
Well, they're actually in a body of DeMolay. They're not really tied to.
Oh, okay.
They're not really tied to anybody else except DeMolay.
DeMolay. So what age you said?
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Yeah.
And they call
Squires.
Squires.
DeMolay Squires. Yep.
Okay.
And so what we do when we get a young man that's in that 10, 11 range, that is kind of interested in stuff like that, and there's a lot of times they're brothers of current members, or they're young sons of Master Masons. We have them join. We do once a year we do a joining ceremony for them at our conclave, which is coming up in July. That's our annual meeting. It's called conclave. That's where we change our state officers and elect our new state officers, and we have a weekend full of sports and all kinds of other brotherhood that goes on over the weekends. A lot of activities. when we have our chapter meetings, because they're not a DeMolay, they can't be inside the meeting during opening and closing. But we have them guard the outside door with an advisor, and we teach them that responsibility. So right away, they're starting to get developed into some responsibility and some sense of belonging to something right up front. And we're finding that when we, as engaging them, and we engage them in other fun activities that we do with the kids, that they become DeMolay members and they continue their career on in DeMolay. Okay. What happens nowadays, and why we try to start them a little bit younger when we can, is that there's so many other activities that go on.
Exactly. I want to ask you, so what do you guys teach these young kids? What skills do you guys participate in your community? So what you guys are engaging in, what you guys, after the ritual and everything, a lot of people think like Freemasonry, DeMoley, Order of DeMolay, Amaranth, stuff like that. It's only ritual. So what you guys engage in society?
So we work with the kids with community projects. They assume leadership positions in the chapters, so that they're learning how to develop skills as to be leaders at a young age. They, through our stuff and actually through the ritual ceremonies, they learn about public speaking. Okay, we see many times that a young man that's 13, 14, 15 years old, when they're getting into school stuff, the projects where they have to speak in front of their classes, they excel because they're used to talking, they're used to being in front of people, and having a social group where they can share all those experiences and stuff. So it's really fun to watch the kids excel in school at these things. Got a couple of young men right now that are part of the Future Farmers of America, but they're also in that setting. I believe there's a group that they do a public speaking contest, and they're excelling beyond belief and winning stuff in their local schools, the local divisions, in the state, and they go nationwide for that speaking group.
You're preparing like some future leaders.
Yes, the DeMolay is a lot about leadership. You get leadership. You learn public speaking just by participating. We don't set up and lecture everybody about public speaking. They learn it through being with them and bringing them along in functions and stuff like that.
You guys are engaging in your community?
Yep, we engage in the community. We do community projects. Chapters get involved with doing things in more in the local community. Just small stuff. Right now, we're working with a veterans group here in New Haven area. We did a work day with them. The boys went down and spent the 4 or 5 hours there and helped clean up the facility and everything. They just reached out. They need a microwave oven. We're going to get that because we've been raising funds for that for them. So little things like that. We've done stuff for food pantries, for animal shelters. We've done some stuff for larger charities. But what we found is that the local charities need more help than the national charities many times.
Yes.
We can provide a bigger impact locally than we can nationally because we don't have the resources to provide a $50,000 or $100,000 check.
Yeah, it's a youth Masonic group.
Right, and to expect youth to be able to raise that kind of money it's just not a very good expectation.
Okay.
But taking a local food pantry and bringing them 300-400 pounds of groceries, that's huge for local community.
Yes.
And so the boys, they go out and they collect the things, they work among themselves. And again, that's part of a leadership thing.
Okay.
They learn to set that stuff up, to plan, execute, and go, and run the project right to the end and see the reward.
Okay. So is it the same as Freemasonry or Masonic Boy School? Is it the same?
To some degree, yes. DeMolay is, not that the other groups aren't fun, but we spend a lot of time with the kids creating fun activities.
Okay.
We want them to go out, they'll go go-karting, as a chapter. You know,
Camping, everything.
Camping, almost everything. There's only a few things we don't let them do because of insurance regulations.
Yes.
But they go out and they plan their events. When they have their meetings, they plan what they want to do for fun events. About a month ago, we did a karaoke night, and the other youth group, Masonic youth group, the International Order of Rainbow for Girls.
Yes, the Rainbow for Girls.
One of their assemblies joined us that night. We had over 30 kids and probably 15 to 20 adults there. You know, everybody having a great time singing. We had some pizza. You can't have an event without pizza when you have kids.
Yes.
You gotta have pizza, you know.
So I'm just letting you know, guys, the DeMolay is for the boys, the Rainbow, it's for the girls. So if you are daughter of Freemasons or you have affiliation, though, you can join also the Rainbow. But let me ask you, brother, after 21 years old, what can you do?
Well, after 21, you can become an advisor. Our advisors are, there's training. All of our current training from our international headquarters is currently online. But we also work individually with people. From my perspective, I meet every advisor before they become an advisor because I want to get to know who they are a little bit, introduce them so I know what they're, you know, kind of what they are. I don't do my own background check, okay, but they've been recommended. They're parents of the new members and things like that have become involved. All of our advisors are background checked. They're subject to random background checks as well as after they become an advisor. And we have our training, and it's about being a safe place for youth.
Okay.
You know, we obviously stand against bullying and all that kind of stuff. We try to have a really safe environment for young men.
Okay. And how many officers do you need in a DeMolay Lodge?
So, DeMolay chapter has 20 some odd officers.
20?
But the chapters don't really operate that way because most chapters are between 10 and 15 members.
10, 15
okay,
members.
That's kind of not unlike a Masonic lodge, which because they have a bigger group to draw from theoretically, their officers tend to be fuller lines. But we have probably the top 7 or 8 officers are the ones that operate the chapter. So it starts with a master counselor, senior counselor, junior counselor, a senior deacon, a junior deacon, a senior steward, and a junior steward are the basic core of what makes the chapter operate. We also have a marshal and a chaplain, and then we talked about the 7 lessons. They're called precepts. There's 7 preceptors. Those are physical chapter officers.
Okay. You need a Master Mason inside with them.
So there is the requirements right now from international is that the chairman of the advisory board, which is the adults, has to be a Master Mason.
Oh, okay.
And right now, currently, you have to have 3 Master Masons on that advisory board to function.
So to open a DeMolay Lodge, you need 3 Master Masons inside.
Right. So right now, we're starting to develop a chapter east of the river in South Glastonbury. And in order to get a letter from DeMoley International to start to open the chapter, I need 6 Master Masons that are willing to become advisors to start the chapter up.
Okay. So can girls be inside a DeMolay chapter or only boys? So
it's a little bit of a quirk, okay? Girls have their own organization.
The Rainbow, yes.
For girls in that age group, which is I believe 10 to 20 for Rainbow. We allow female advisors the same as Rainbow allows male advisors.
Okay.
So currently one of our chapters, the head advisor in the chapter is a female. So we back in around 1989, DeMoley International, we changed our rules and regulations to allow mothers and parents a lot more freedom. What we allowed, it allows female lead advisors in the chapter. We haven't fixed, or at least got to the point where we need to not have Master Masons on the advisory board, but I think someday that may end up happening. When I don't know, but the female engagement part. So when I was young and joined DeMolay, the moms were actually, they formed little mothers clubs and things like that, and they were always responsible for refreshments and stuff. It was a little bit, the separation of the family at the time. The men did this, the women did this, mothers did this, the dads did this. So they weren't allowed into meetings. Well, so in that time frame, when we changed that, we encourage parents and grandparents to get involved with the kids, aunts, uncles, whatever. We invite them in to watch them join in the joining ceremonies. My mom never got to see me join DeMolay because it wasn't allowed at the time. Now we have mothers, like I said, mothers, grandparents, stuff like that. We want them to know what the kids are doing.
Exactly.
We want them to be involved because we can provide a really nice family environment type of thing, because we can have everybody involved in a DeMolay chapter. So which is pretty unique and a lot of fun. In that process, I didn't know too much about what happened with bringing female advisors and integrating them, but I was amazed what a difference that makes for the young men, and for myself personally as the executive officer. I'm the lead adult for the whole state, so everything stops at me. So it's one of those things.
And other questions, do you guys have DeMolay Foundation?
Connecticut has a DeMolay Foundation. They also, we have a golf tournament coming up in a few weeks. About a month, we have an annual golf tournament. We started, this is our 18th. That DeMolay Foundation, they have their own funding. They raise money for us, and they provide funding for me to be able to do programs for the youth.
Okay, but that foundation will be helping, or will be engaging in what exactly?
They're a foundation that has an investment account, and they provide funds for us to run programs here in the state.
Okay.
That's their function, is to provide funding for our programs.
Okay, and I have questions. I have another question. Do you know how many DeMolay chapters we have here in the USA or in Connecticut?
In Connecticut, I have 6 active chapters.
Can you name them?
Yep, they are Nathan Hale, Marcus Holcomb, New Haven, Oliver Wolcott, what did I miss? Milford.
Okay.
I think that's 6. So we're starting South Glastonbury.
Okay.
I think I missed Sleeping Giant. That was the other one I missed.
Okay.
So I have 6 active ones. The 7th one is just starting.
Okay, 6 active in Connecticut. Okay, do you know how many members we have in the USA or in Connecticut?
Membership in the country, well, in the world it's 11, 12,000, I think, because we are an international organization. So there's jurisdictions that are actually starting up. Some of the newer ones that they have huge membership increases because they're starting off new chapters, kind of like what happened in the U.S. when DeMolay started in 1919. The numbers grew exponentially because you're spreading out. So I think Bolivia, Romania, Brazil, there's a lot of DeMolays in Brazil.
I saw in Philippines also.
Philippines, there's DeMolay. Japan, there's France, I'm sure there's, so there are a lot of countries. I don't have them all because there's a huge list.
But we have few other places.
But our membership, the active membership is in the, I think 12,000 range or so across the world, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot when you think about all the other numbers and trying to engage kids and stuff like that.
Okay, so guys, just telling you why do we having this interview today. So where I came from in Haiti, it's very sad to see a lot of Freemason sons, Freemasons daughters, they did not follow the father or mother steps. They did not join any fraternal organization. Could be AMOC, Ancient and Mystical Order of the Roscoe, Freemasonry. There's no other appendant body of Freemasonry in this country. And even though there's not such appendant body of Freemasonry, but they could at least join the craft, the Freemasonry. It's very sad to see there's really no follow-up about it. And for example, I'm a Freemason, and I hope my son can join Freemasonry as well. We don't force kids, but we just like showing them good example, and they can, and that's the beauty of these youth Masonic association. So where young kids can join, like Boy Scout, Rainbow Girl, Order of DeMolay, Amaranth, DeMolay, Squires, as you said.
Yeah.
So these young boys and young girls can join, and that's what they will teach them: leadership, self-sufficient, everything good for the business. So that's why I was thinking having this video just to show you. So there's many ways you young folk can join. Because when I was talking with my generation back then, I asked them like, why you guys are not interested in Freemasonry? They said, oh, you know, Freemasonry is for old folks. So we're not that old, we're not gonna sit down like getting boring. No, there's many other organizations, youth organization you can join by 9 to 12, 12 to 21. And after that, you can continue your Masonic journey. So just letting you know, so if you're a Freemason father and you sons or daughter of a Freemason, so you are welcome to join, and you don't need any Masonic affiliation right now to join. And let me tell you, these youth organizations are very fun. If you're shy, if you think like you don't have a lot of self-esteem, if you think twice about yourself, so it's time to join. So to evolve, to learn, to make new friendship, to travel. Yeah. Food is good. You see what I mean? And I'm gonna ask my brother another question. So can you tell us some famous DeMolay member?
Well, so one of the ones that pops up is right away is Walt Disney. He's probably the most recognizable name out there.
Yes, Walt Disney is a DeMolay. Once a DeMolay.
Right. Unfortunately, he passed away. Okay. I wish I had a chance to meet him. I love going to Disney World. So, but I think about that when I go there. It's like, you know, this is a man that he was a DeMolay.
And just letting you know, guys, make some research about the history of Walt Disney. It wasn't easy for him to create Walt Disney. So every time he tried, it was always a fail. They always say no to him, no to him. But we'll teach him about like perseverance. We'll teach him about like commitment, leadership was the DeMolay. And myself, I can tell you two more famous DeMolay, like the previous president, Bill Clinton. He was a DeMolay, but never been a Freemason. No, he wasn't a Freemason. And other famous DeMolay that I can tell you, it's the guy named Alice Cooper, aka Vincent Fournier.
Yep.
He was a DeMolay also. So we have plenty of other famous DeMolay, people who joined the order, so who succeed, who were who's leaders, who's serving. You see what I mean?
So many times, and we don't really pronounce it, I mean, not or populate it enough out to the public, but there are many leaders out there in our country that have been in DeMolay and touched by the program.
Those I just tell you,
every walk of life has people that have been engaged.
Exactly. There's plenty more that we're not saying here.
Right.
Yeah, those I just said, you can go online, you will see them, but there's many leaders who are part of DeMolay and who build this country, who still building in the community and the country where they're living. So DeMolay is creating leaders. And that's why I'm encouraging you young boys, young girls, you're not gonna be bored, join and come enjoy.
I can tell you for sure, I would not be here today doing what I do if it wasn't for DeMolay.
You were a shy person before?
Yeah.
So now, I mean...
I love what I do.
Okay.
I've been executive officer. I'm coming up on 10 years. I'm nearly 69 years old, and I still love what I'm able to provide for the young men. It keeps me young, keeps me active. I just love it. It's just great working with youth.
Yes.
So
Myself, I was a shy dude. I was a shy teenager, very shy. So if I go to a party, you will see me stand up in a corner by myself. But guess what? The craft, Freemasonry, I learned a lot about Freemasonry, especially the Scottish Rite. And look at me now, I'm conducting an interview. Look at you, 40 years in the craft. And this year, I'm celebrating 22 years in the craft. And look at us. So we're growing, we're still learning.
still growing and learning, absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
This is what Freemasonry is about. Freemasonry is not only about rituals, but it's about like a commitment, it's about like community, it's about like self-development, it's about working on ourselves inside and outside also to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pretty much it.
Yes. But I have another question for you. How to contact you if someone wanna join locally and internationally?
So locally, we have our own website, and there's information there that gets you to us. Our website is ctdemolay.org. Our international website is beademolay.org. And all through the funnel, you can get to the chapters and stuff like that. And you have contact information. I have ads running, talking a little bit about DeMolay and a quick like 30-second infomercial to just keep our name out there and stuff on Facebook and Instagram. So we're out there, doing that to try to broaden who sees us and sees what we do, the fun the kids have, and really how to engage with the organization.
Okay, they can find us on Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
Okay. And do you have a phone number for Connecticut or the chapter in Connecticut?
So my phone number in Connecticut is 860-620-4102. I'm the top guy, and that's my phone number that's out there in the contact areas. So I've had calls of parents that are you the contact person for this? And I said, yeah. And just with about 2 or 3 months ago, had my mom call me and she wanted to know some stuff about DeMolay. She had 2 sons that were 14 years old they're shy, they're not fitting into the community. She said, I've heard some stuff, I've done some research, and I said, okay. I said, well, come on down to this event, and you get to meet a bunch of the kids and things. And they ended up joining that same night. They had such a great time. And it being involved and having their own community of young men together creates a whole different scenario for kids. It's a great environment.
And other questions. Do you guys believe in God? Do you have to believe in God to join the DeMolay? Do you have to be a Christian?
No. DeMolay requires a belief in a supreme being only. Okay.
You can be Jewish, you can be Muslim, you can be Christian, Catholic. And
even in DeMolay, it's a little bit difficult to find out from a 12-year-old, what do you believe in? And so, in essence, we don't really push the issue.
Okay.
Everybody, what's your supreme being that you believe in? Is it Judeo-Christian? Is it Muslim? Is it whatever the background is? But it's about bringing that wholesome family environment together. So if if the young man says, well, it's about my parents, okay, you've got something you believe in,
okay.
And let's move forward. Let's get you involved in the organization. Yes, the Bible is there, in the room when we open the chapter, but there's no scripture-based anything from that.
Oh, the Bible is there.
It's there because we're under the protection of a supreme being.
Exactly.
Okay, now, whoever that supreme being is, the Bible represents that, and that doesn't mean there can't be a Torah, there can't be I can't think of other books from any of the other religions. That doesn't mean they can't be on display there too. but it's to understand that there's something bigger than all of us, and that's what that represents.
Exactly. Ask you, what do these young boys or girls needs to join DeMolay?
They need to just find somebody and get a hold of us.
Okay.
Really. Visit our websites. There's information, again, stuff, Facebook and Instagram. There's ways to work through that to contact people. So many people use social media now that that's why we keep stuff out there in front of people. And just contact us. There's no, sometimes you got to ask around, you got to find a friend. If you see a Masonic lodge or something, try to contact the lodge. They can, refer you like our Grand Lodge office. If somebody called there and wanted to know how do I get in touch with somebody for DeMolay or Rainbow, they'd get a hold of us.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different ways we can get contacted.
Okay.
And we, every young man, every young lady, we'd love to have them engage with DeMolay and Rainbow overall.
Do you guys have like an international activity where you meet each other from every country every year?
Yeah.
An annual meeting?
Actually, coming up at in June, 23rd to 27th, we'll be out in Chicago.
Okay.
Is our international DeMolay session. Our Supreme Council meets. All the youth from all over the world, they have their Congress meeting where they develop their own stuff, programs and stuff. During the week, they're going to be doing service projects in the Chicago area as part of their stuff as service on an international level. And now you've got probably, I think it's 110 members of that Congress that are going to go out and do a couple of projects in the communities in the Chicago area. So it's really good. As the adults, we have our business sessions because we have to deal with rules and regulations and other things that, have to make the organization run from that standpoint. Annual reports, there's a lot of boring stuff we have to deal with, but that's an adult thing,
Okay.
We still try to get the kids involved again.
But the
service
kids,
and
do they
community.
travel from America to visit other DeMolay chapters overseas?
Some do. So we have two international youth officers, an international master counselor and an international Congress secretary. They travel extensively over the course of their term in office of a year. As well as our Grand Master, Grand Senior Council, Grand Junior Council, they travel pretty well too, all over the world to help establish and continue relationships with all the other jurisdictions around the world.
Okay.
Last fall, we have a long-standing relationship in Connecticut with DeMolay in Canada, specifically Atlantic provinces, which is New Brunswick and up that area in Canada. After COVID, their DeMolays it's not existent because Canada shut things down even tighter than probably almost every other country in the world.
Okay. Are you guys in Mexico also?
I believe there's Mexico chapters, yeah.
Okay.
So we went up to Canada last fall. There's about 10 of us from Connecticut that went up. We helped reestablish DeMolay in Atlantic provinces, Canada.
Okay.
They had 15 new members join that day. We went up for the weekend. We had a great weekend. So, yeah, we get to travel internationally as well. From we're in Connecticut. We're a little bit luckier than most. We're a little bit more agile sometimes, and we do have a long-standing relationship with a particular group of people in Canada. So it's really fun. Really fun.
I have a few more questions before we finish that interview. Can you tell me about the colors of DeMolay, black and red? Is it because of the association with the Knights Templar? And can you tell me also about the logo?
So the logo, the crest, if you look at the DeMolay crest, the shield, it's all, if you look at it, there's 10 red rubies. And they used to be pearls when the symbol was developed. There was a couple iterations. That's just the 4th generation shield that DeMolay has developed.
Okay, it's a crest.
The crest, yeah. There's a couple different ways you can call it, but so now that they're all rubies. So what happened was that the 10 pearls represented the 10 original people the 9 boys of Dadland. And as each one of them passed away, they turned them to rubies. Unless I hope I didn't get that backwards. And so that's what those represent. So in that, it's all representative of things that have happened and how it's developed. And again, that early group in 1919, they started to develop all these things. So it's pretty amazing when you think about what it takes to start an organization and have it still here 106 years later. Yes. It's pretty cool.
Yes. And what is the motto of DeMolay?
The model? The motto?
Yes.
We don't really have a motto. We're a service and leadership youth organization, basically.
Okay. And do you have a message for the DeMoley border and for every future potential members around the world and Connecticut?
If you're not joining DeMolay or being part of DeMolay, you're missing something really, really special. To spend extra time with youth develop kids for the future of any country is a huge responsibility. From a Masonic perspective, that's a mission for a Mason, is to make things better. And I get to do that not only in Masonic Lodge with other Masons as they come through and join Masonry, but I get to do that with young men. And I also am a Rainbow Advisor as well. So I get to work some of the stuff with the young ladies too. And you have your own kids, you raise your own kids, but you also get to continue that nurturing and development and stuff like that for kids for the future. It is awesome to be able to do. Again, to watch a 12-year-old boy who will stand in the corner playing his video game, and then 7-8 years later, several of these kids have become the youth leader for the whole state. A pretty amazing process. I've had various experiences over the last 10 years as executive officer, but obviously before that too. I had a young man join one day, and he sat across the room from me, and he was a newly installed officer, a senior deacon. His first name is Jack, and he said to me, he says, "This is all I'm ever going to do. This is great. I have this office. I'm not going to do anything else." And then he figured it out, and he ended up being a state master counselor. So when he said that, I just sat there and I smiled. I said, "Okay, Jack, I get it, but I think there's more, and I think you can do more." And he did. Oh, yeah. So you get to watch kids. You see them join. I work with the state office directly, and so I watch for kids that have special extra talents to be able to be that next level leader. There's a lot of leaders in their chapters, but there's a next level leader, and we take those kids and we give them that next level, and those kids eventually in their schools and things like that get the next level. And again, it's just amazing to watch and be part of. It's really cool.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome,
man. Yeah,
hope I didn't talk too much.
Oh no,
but I get a little passionate about the job.
It was very interesting and informative for people watching.
So, BeADeMolay.org. Join now.
Join now if you want to be a leader tomorrow. Guys, I want to thank you for watching, and a special thank you for Brother Jacques Forecast, 33rd and last degree of Scottish Rite, Freemason, for the Valley of Bridgeport. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Mr. Forecast. And see you soon. BeADeMolay soon. Thank you.
Take care.